Today we are joined by my very good friend Layla and
And we are gonna talk about something important on a dance floor.
for the women. But I think important for men as well.
I think it's important for everyone.
There you go. Hello everybody, Rasa the dancer is here, and of course today I'm joined by my very good friend Layla, and actually we are making this video on her request.
Yes, because one of Rasa's videos on her YouTube channel previously posted didn't leave me relaxed.
She was triggered.
I was triggered a big time.
So let me tell you what that video was, and I'm gonna link it in the bio. So if you haven't watched it, maybe it's useful to watch that first and then come back to this video. But either way, do what you want. But basically, the video was talking about women on the dance scene, how they sometimes get in situations when they feel that the men are acting inappropriately. And I was talking what would be the best way to deal with it, because recently I've been hearing a lot of women complaining about indecent behavior with men, and their response automatically is recently, let's ban them. And I was talking about different layers of the situation and what I believe is the best way for the scene and for themselves, how to respond. And certain things triggered Layla, and she was saying, you know, let's talk about it, and so that people would actually hear different kind of opinions. Now, before we get into it, I want to say a few things. Whatever we say now, I will never love her less, nor she will love me less. Am I right?
You should hope so.
Okay. And you have no right in the comments to use swear words or any sort of attack. Comments here on this channel are for expressing your opinions, for giving your thoughts, for sharing your personal experiences. They are not here to abuse, attack, or anything like that. The whole point is to have an open conversation, and in order to have that, we have to feel comfortable. And as soon as you start attacking, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to just delete it. So you can say you agree, disagree, and say why, but you are not allowed to use swear words or make her feel like she's not a normal human being, or me, or make me feel like I'm not a normal human being. So I'm just going to delete it, okay? So I'll put it out there because we decided to actually not talk about it before the video. We're just going to have an open conversation, and we want you to understand we love each other no matter what, okay? So you ready to start?
I am ready to start.
Let's start. Okay, so in short, I'm going to just take one piece of the video that I made. And what I basically said, this is one piece. So if you need to dive in, watch the whole video. But in one piece, basically what I was saying, if a lady is dancing with a guy on a dance floor and he's acting inappropriately, my point was this, that I encourage women to, no matter how difficult it is, to learn how to speak up in the moment, whether it's a big moment or a small moment. Maybe even if it's not that he's acting inappropriately, but maybe he's unaware, but it makes you feel uncomfortable. My point is, it's important to speak up in the moment. I did say that, of course, then you come to the promoters, and, you know, if it's really like a situation, promoters are there to help you out. But I encouraged for women to speak up in the moment so that they would actually have a little bit more power in the situation as well. And then your point is?
My point is, as women, we are always, and historically has been, looked down at. We've been sensualized. We've been paid less for the similar jobs as men. And now we are being given responsibility to speak up for ourselves in a situation when I think the safest and the most correct way to deal with that kind of situations, as in specifically when you're being touched inappropriately on a dance floor, is just stop the dance and walk away. I disagree that you need to confront those men. We have special people for that. We have Rasa, other teachers, we have organizers who need to deal with that kind of situation. Also, in a video, Rasa said that as organizer, if I don't speak up for myself in that situation in front of the man, she cannot do anything. She cannot ban that man. I don't.
I didn't say I cannot do anything.
Oh, you said you cannot ban that man.
I cannot ban them if he, because there's different levels of inappropriate. That's where the other thing is. If somebody grabbed you on the ass and you come to me and said, this guy grabbed me on the ass, I can ban him. But if you actually, like just actually you dancing and he grabbing you, or you walking by and he's grabbing you. But if the guy is kind of touching you up all the way through the dance, you finish the whole dance, and then you come to me and ask me to ban him. When I actually confronted him, he was like, I thought she's feeling the vibe and I was touching. So I can, tell him off. I can tell him my eyes are on you, and so everybody else, if you do this again without her actually verbally agreeing to it, you're gonna be in problem. But I cannot ban him because you danced all the dance with him. He might not, no matter how stupid he was unaware potentially that you were uncomfortable.
Just a full disclosure, the situation Rasa just described didn't happen with me. I never came to Rasa complaining that someone touched me inappropriately during the dance and asking to ban the person, but I completely understand where that comes from, and I'm pretty sure there were situations on a dance floor when women actually felt violated during the dance. My situation was much worse. And that's my personal experience. I was walking into the Kizombarum, I know, that place, Kizombarum, with my friend, a very good friend of mine. We were just entering the dance floor, haven't even started dancing. And then I felt someone's hand on my ass. That was not, I accidentally touched it, accidentally smiled. That was a proper grab. And I shockingly turned around and I looked that man in the eye. And he was standing there, looking at me, smiling. So that's why it triggered me so much. For those of you who know me, I am not a weak person. I have quite a strong personality. I'm very spicy. So usually I can stand up for myself. And I usually have no problems confronting people. But in that situation, I froze. I was shocked. And my friend who was, walking with me noticed it, and he asked me what happened, and I couldn't even tell him because I was ashamed and I was confused and I didn't know what to do. To my defense, it was 5 or 6 years ago when I was just starting my dance adventure, so I was not as self-confident as I am now. But I totally understand ladies who just starting dancing, and if something as horrible as that one happens to them, they should not be asked to speak up to that person. They need to be taught to go to the organizers, and organizers should be able to defend. I was so shocked I don't even remember the guy's face. Also, I was looking at it like point blank, like this one. So,
yes, and you know what? With this point, for example, I completely agree. So I agree, like, that there are moments where you're in shock. I've been in moments, and you guys know me as well. Like, I don't mess about. But I remember specifically many moments where I was kind of like, huh? And, by the time you realize what actually happened, that moment has passed, the guy disappeared, and you like, it's a story to tell. You don't even know how to say it to promote it because, as you say, you don't even sure which guy it was anymore. Like, it's just such a shocking thing. And I get that. But my point is that situations are intricate. This is not an intricate situation. This is black or white. This is wrong. If you come to me immediately and you say, he touched me on my ass as I'm walking by, I'm going to this guy and saying, you out. And I'm telling him why. This is not like a difficult situation. Difficult situation is sometimes the guy places the hands where not every woman understands where there's a mistake that the guy is making whilst dancing. Sometimes there is, situations when the guy is actually trying to flirt and he's an idiot, but he's trying to flirt, but he doesn't understand. And those situations are intricate. Now, I understand that if it's difficult to speak up to him and stop that situation, you still have to come to me and tell me what happened. I'm just saying I cannot ban him. because I will talk to the guy, of course, no matter what. You come to me whether it's a minor thing or not, I will take the guy aside. I take guys aside just for smelling bad. You know what I mean? So I'll take him aside and talk to him, but I cannot ban him. But Layla, believe me when I say there's so many women now that want the guy to be banned just for being rough on the dance floor. They now, a lot of women are actually coming together as a group, 3, 4, 5 women, and saying he dances so rough that we cannot, dance. It's like it's almost dangerous, and we want him to be banned. And I'm like, well, clearly I can talk to him about dancing just softer, or not dancing with you at all, or something. But they immediately say, and this is specific scenarios, well, if you don't ban him now, we're gonna go to this venue, tell them about this, so you're not gonna be able to run the night anymore. What do I do then?
That's a very tricky situation, I agree. But
Exactly.
I think in this case, we need to separate. Maybe the reason for the, triggering me so much was that everything was mixed together. So the situation like this one and the situation over, let's face it, pure sexual abuse,
Yes.
were mixed together. And while I agree with you that inexperienced leads, rough leads, leads who were so focused on leading you that they accidentally place their hands on your boobs or on your ass in bachata, because bachata is sensual. And when you turn around the partner, yes, I as a lead sometimes end up with my hands somewhere, and whenever I notice, I apologize immediately. And I hope that no one, takes it personally. And I would completely understand if someone from the organizers would afterward come to me and say, Lily, you need to be more careful. If you're leading, you need to be aware where your hands are. People don't like it. Well, I don't enjoy it. I'm so sorry. I apologize for everyone who I have done it previously, inadvertently. So, but if someone actually touches you, grabs you, and makes you feel uncomfortably because of that one, because you feel violated, not because you feel that his leading style is not up to your standards or he's not your favorite lead, just don't dance with him anymore. You can also tell him off in that situation, yes, or you can tell the organizers. That's up to you. But if someone sexually abusing you on a dance floor, you should not confront them, because they are always extremely self-confident, and you in that moment might feel extremely
I disagree.
vulnerable.
No, it doesn't matter. It's my point is this: how you are is how you shape to be from your previous experiences. What you've been through life, for example, or what friends you have, or what situations you being in. A lot of things shapes us who we are at this particular moment when that situation happens, right? So as a woman, if I've been through a lot of different things, I haven't resolved a lot of different things, and maybe I'm not an alpha woman, maybe I'm a little bit more, whatever
That was
it
a
is.
joke.
No, but I'm
Rasa
just
is not an alpha woman.
no, but I'm just saying, if I'm in a particular place in my life, things has happened and I haven't resolved them yet, and somebody is sexually abusing me on the dance floor, maybe not in your face, but like enough for me to feel like I'm abused, I understand why those kind of women cannot speak up in a moment. And it's okay, you come to the promoter. My point is, I encourage them not to rely on the fact that they can come to the promoter. They can come no matter what. I want them to start building a little bit of healing, or building self-esteem, or building strength, no matter how difficult it is to speak up in the moment, because this is just dance. But life is the same. In life, promoter will not be standing there. Anybody who is mistreating you, you have to learn. Maybe you cannot do it now, but you have to be aware that it is okay to say, stop, I don't like it, or at least walk away. At
I
least
agree
walk
with
away.
the last part. If in
But
life,
you have to learn.
if
You
in
cannot
life,
always allow people to do whatever they want to do, and you never speak up.
in life,
Or
if
speak
something
up.
happens to you, don't try to confront your abuser.
Why?
Walk away, run away.
Why wouldn't
call
you
the
try?
police,
Why wouldn't you
because
try?
it can end up in much worse situation.
What situation? You in dance environment? If the guy touches your bum, it happened a million times to many women, and they say stop or slap the shit out of you.
You can be even more triggered. You can be even more traumatized.
More traumatized. She's standing up for herself, and then come to the promoter. My God, this is an empowering thing. It's not. It's exactly because women are being gone through so much.
You are blaming the victim again.
It's not blaming. I'm saying that they don't need to.
She cannot stand up for herself.
I'm saying that if she cannot, it's okay. I'm saying that while she cannot, the same as we work through different traumas for different people.
You say she should try, but I say she shouldn't.
Why? So she should always live in a life where she cannot ever speak up.
When she feels she can speak up if she wants to. If she doesn't want to, she should not be encouraged or pushed or made to speak up.
But in her mind, she should want to actually work through things
and through traumas when you are being in the process of a trauma.
It's okay, but then you leave this trauma, you go to the promoter, then you come back home, maybe talk to a psychiatrist, maybe just think about it in general. 3 months later, you're like, you know what, maybe I could have said something.
If that situation that happened in your past helped you, to realize and change as a person, to grow up, to self-develop, then great.
That's all I'm saying.
Next time it happening, hopefully it will never
happen
to you again.
That's all I'm saying.
If you feel that you can speak up, please feel free to speak up. I don't encourage you to keep silence, because while we're keeping silence, we encourage them to keep doing what they're doing. But what I'm saying, if you don't feel safe, if you don't want to speak up, if you don't know how to react, if you're ashamed, you don't know how to look in his eyes, walk away, turn around,
I agree with that.
away. You have people who need to be able to protect you, and that should be organizers, promoters, and teachers.
I think we just actually agreed on something. Because I think a lot of the times this is what happens when two people have like strong points in general. I actually agree with everything you say, and my point always being about like try to speak up. It's not that you have to in that moment if you can't. It's the fact that I want women in general, when they leave that situation, to actually keep working on through the things that we need to work through, so we could build more confidence and we could build more strength, because I'm afraid that sometimes somebody might not be there. That's all. So I want, in the dancing, the promoters are there, and if hopefully it's the right one who's going to be on, by your side. But I just want in general, and if you can't speak up in that moment, I agree, just walk away. It's fine. But I want them to at some point to start thinking how they can stand up for themselves,
That's good if you can learn something from the situations in your life, and then next time, hopefully which will never happen again, you can speak up for yourself. But also I think what can be done in this situation generally, as for the dance scene in general, is to normalize walking away on a dance floor. I personally don't feel normal, even if I feel uncomfortable or weird on a dance floor. I've been taught from the beginning by different teachers. I cannot tell you all the names, because literally every single teacher at some point told you that if you don't like leading, you need to kind of survive through the dance unless something like really terrible happens. I think it should be normalized when a follower or a leader, if he doesn't like something from the follower, because I believe followers can be inappropriate too. I just never experienced it.
Okay, but let's just, because this is a different topic, let's not get into that topic, because walking away on a dance floor in general is a different topic. If you're sexually abused, you can walk away. For different reasons, that's a different topic. So let's not get into that.
Yeah, of course, you should not just end up the dance just because you don't like it. But if you don't feel comfortable, as in don't feel safe from
safe
sexual
part.
abuse part.
Yes, we're just talking about that. Yes, so let's just not go on a walking away.
Just that one. But you should not feel ashamed to stop in front of everyone and walk away in the middle of the dance.
Yeah, for that is fine. Yes. I think we just agreed.
Second time. And remember, me and Rasa, we still love each other.
we still love each other. I swear I'm sweating inside. She was more cool than me. I get in my feelings, I need to learn how to communicate better in the dialogue. I'm like here hugging my leg and all of the rest. Oh, I love you, Layla.
I love you too.
Guys, hopefully you got something out of this. Thank you guys for watching. please leave a comment. But as I say, please do it constructively and with love, and don't be naming anybody names or like shouting at somebody. But hopefully this was useful for you. I really appreciate, Layla, you actually doing this with me, because I'm always rambling my own thoughts, but it's completely different when you have somebody to bounce from, especially when the opinion is slightly different somewhere, and to actually find a point of agreement in some ways, that's also very satisfying.
I really wanted to do that video, Rasa. Thank you for agreeing making it, because at some point I was even considering just making my own video and sending it to Rasa, saying, "Here is my response. Put it on your YouTube channel," because people need to be able to listen, to hear another point of view on the story.
And now we are ready to listen to you. So use the comments, and guys, if you haven't watched the video that we're actually talking about, watch that video, and remember, we are here to educate and actually spread love and joy. So kisses to you, and bye-bye.